Hey, it's Jonathan here from Mindful Communication, helping you upgrade your communication skills to create a life that you love. One of the greatest parts of being in a relationship is getting your needs met by another person. The trouble in a relationship comes when we confuse our needs with our wants, our fundamental needs with the strategies we're choosing with which to meet those needs. Are you a little confused? It's okay. In this video, I'm going to explain the difference between our needs and our wants so that you can better resolve conflict faster in your relationship. Have you ever heard this word before? Needy? I'm not a huge fan of this word. There's a very negative connotation with this word. Someone who's needy is kind of a drag on us. And I think this word is pretty inaccurate. And that's because we're humans. And as human beings, we all have needs. Not only that, we have a lot of needs. We have need for connection, friends, family, companionship. We have needs for meaning and purpose and belonging. We have needs for food and shelter and water. And we also have needs for fun and stimulation. But one area we get tripped up on in our relationships is the difference between what we need and what we want. And so in this video, I'm going to take you through some distinctions to help you better understand the difference between a need and a want. What this will help you do is help you better identify the non-negotiables from the negotiables and come to a better place where you can reduce conflict faster in your relationship. Now, when it comes to needs have three fundamental characteristics that will help us separate them from strategies. Needs are generally things that are really important to us. They matter to us as human beings. The first characteristic of a need is that it's universal. What I mean by universal is that it's a universal human need. That means every human on earth has this need. And there are a lot of them. Once again, these are needs like companionship, acceptance, like compassion, empathy, integrity, growth, learning, respect, celebration, hope, harmony, beauty. So many needs. Self-expression, to be seen, to be known, to be heard. If you want a full list of universal human needs, check out the link in the description for your own copy of Universal Human Needs. So an example of a universal need would be a need for connection. But an example of a want would be to connect with a specific person, maybe your partner. I'm sure your partner is very lovely, and it's very possible that not everyone wants to connect with them, only you. Whenever it has to do with a specific context, a specific time or place or person, it's probably going to be a want and not going to be a universal human needs. The second characteristic of needs is that it is intrinsic. Now, what intrinsic means is that it comes from within. There's nothing outside of yourself that are creating or causing these needs. It is all within. An example of something intrinsic would be, say, at work. You would be intrinsically motivated by learning and growth, whereas you would be extrinsically motivated by money or health benefits. So if you think back to some of the words I listed, or if you check out that list of universal human needs, you'll see that all of these things come from within. They come from inside of us. And that's a great way to also determine whether this is a need or a want. The last characteristic of a need is if it's intangible. So what do I mean by intangible? Well, intangible means that you can't touch it. You can't grab it with your hands. If it's tangible, it's something that you can feel, something that you can hold. But intangible things, you can't do that. An example of something intangible would be something like respect. Respect is a fundamental need that we have, and you can't actually touch it with your hands. Something that you can touch is something like money, or a car, or a house, or a really big house. So what I'm hoping you're getting from this is that needs are universal, they're intrinsic, and they're intangible. They're something that all humans share and they come from within. When they start to be outside of us, when we start to use them and hold them, when they're specific to a person, a place, or a thing, that is a want. And our wants are strategies that are used to meet needs. So we are employing specific strategies in order to meet our fundamental needs. So I want to give you a few more examples to make sense of the difference between the two. In this first example, I'll ask you, is a car a need or a want? I want you to consider that it's a want and not a need. And that's because it's tangible. It's a real thing. It doesn't come from within either. And there are also lots of people on earth who don't have cars and get by in their life just fine. So a car would be a want and not a need. A second example, a little bit trickier, is whether money is a need or a want. And I want you to consider that money is actually a want and not a need. And that's because, again, money is tangible. It is not coming from within. It's not intrinsic. And you don't necessarily need money per se to get by in life. You could barter, you could trade, or you could live off the land on your own. Money is a strategy that we use in order to meet other needs. Needs like safety, security, comfort. So money is a want and not a need. A final example is wanting to be in Times Square for New Year's Eve. Now, this is obviously a want and not a need because it is specific to a time and specific to a place. And that means that it is not intangible. It is not intrinsic. And it's not universal because there might be a lot of humans that don't necessarily want to be in Times Square for New Year's Eve. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like it, please subscribe, and please comment. Let me know what needs are particularly important to you in your life. Let me know in the comments what exactly those needs are. You can also get way more communication tips on my Facebook page and Instagram profile. Links are in the description. And you can also check out my podcast, the Mindful Communication Podcast, which is all about the art and science of connection. You can also check out my free ebook, 8 Communication Secrets for High-Performing Couples. And I promise you, if you follow these 8 communication secrets, I guarantee incredible results in your relationship. May your relationship be full of love, peace, and connection. See ya.